I welcome you to this Civic Education 2022 representation. Specifically, we are going to answer question 4 from marriage. So if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell. Okay, so the question is saying study an extract of the will and answer the questions that follow. So we have the piece of the will, which is saying my last will. So the content of the will is saying, hi Johnny Wamene. So the owner of this will is Johnny Wamene. In this case, this Johnny Wamene is the male. So if this one is the male, we are going to say this one is the testator. Okay. So hi Johnny Wamene, living at Mugutu Farm. Declare this to be my will and I revoke all wills previously made. Then we have Article 1. So Article 1 is talking about the funeral expenses and payments of debit. Article 1 is talking about funeral expenses and the payments of debit. So the content is saying, I direct my executor. So an executor is just a person administering the distribution of properties according to the will. Okay, so I direct my executors to pay my unsecured debits and funeral expenses, the expenses of my last illness, and the expenses of administering my estate. Okay, then as for Article 2 is talking about the money that Mr. John Wamene had, and also the property or personal property. So Article 2 is talking about the money that Mr. John Wamene had, and also the personal properties. So the content is saying, I give all my tangible personal property and proceeds of insurance covering such property to my wife, Kubota Musuma. Okay, Kubota Musuma. If she does not survive me, I give that property to those of my children who will survive me in equal share. Then the last content is saying, I have signed this will this day. So now, what you need to understand here is that a will is just the document which outlines the information on how the remaining spouse or the surviving spouse are going to share the properties among themselves. So it is just the document which outlines on how the surviving spouses are going to share properties among them. So now the first one is saying, which is question A, identify the testator of this will. So the owner of this will is Mr. Johnny Wamene. So the answer here it is Johnny Wamene. Then as for B is saying, explain the following concepts. So we have testatrix and executor. So as for testatrix, it is just the female author of the will in line with the law. So the female author of the will in line with the law. Then as for an executor is just a person or the one administering the distribution of properties accordance with the will. Okay, so an executor is in charge of distributing the properties accordance with the will. Okay, then as for question C, saying, according to the law, mention two people that can challenge the validity and legality of this will. So 2 marks. So the first one I'm going to say the spouse, which is the wife, or I can say the surviving spouse. So apart from the surviving spouse or the wife, we can say the dependent. Then lastly, I can say the child or the children. Then the last one, which is question D, is saying, how much money would the surviving spouse get in a case where a man dies intestate. So if a man dies intestate, which means the man is not going to leave a will. So now, we have the law which helps in the distribution of properties among the surviving spouse or among the family. So now, the surviving spouse is the wife. Okay, so the surviving spouse in this case is the wife. So now, according to the money that Mr. John Wamene had, he had 50,000. Now, the percentage that his wife should get from this money, it is 20%. Then the children should get 50%. So now, since the wife is getting 20% from 50,000, so let's find the 20% of 50,000. So we are going to say 20% divided by 100% multiplied by 50,000. So 2 zeros from 100, we are going to cancel them, and also 2 zeros from 50,000, we are going to cancel them. Then here we are going to say 20 multiplied by 500. Then the answer is going to be 10,000. Let me repeat once again. So I'm saying the wife or the surviving spouse should get 20% from the total amount of money, which is 50,000. Now, a percentage is always over 100, so we need to find the 20% of 50,000 that the wife is going to get. So 20 divided by 100 multiplied by 50,000, then the answer is going to be 10,000 kwacha. Okay, so that was the last one. Remember to subscribe for more videos.